So YouTube might be protecting pedophiles. You know, we have this sort of situation that's been brewing ever since EDP was getting a lot of attention and exposure last week, especially with the Gideon sting operation and EDP, you know, EDP's latest victim going on the air and exposing his crimes to the world. We did a video about it last week, but that video might not be up for much longer given YouTube's new pattern now of banning anybody, giving them strikes. Anybody that talks about EDP, they're just getting completely removed, including Gideon himself.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually getting really, really terrible. I mean, they're even sending out crazy emails to people that are just unacceptable, like for terms of like consistency and, you know, general just creator support. It's absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of creators point out YouTube's you know, past with defending pedophiles, whether, you know, deliberately or just accidentally or whatever. You know, YouTube is an automated system. They got a ton of stuff just going in the background. I'm not saying there's some conspiracy that they're protecting EDP, but it does look suspicious. And when you have people in the past like Mama Max who've made videos, and even Mouthy Buddha who got banned for talking about this stuff, you know, it does sort of paint a pretty negative light for YouTube. But as you can see right here, Jamari Speaks is a commentary channel with 1 million subs, and he got banned. He said, I was issued a strike on my EDP445 recap video. I tried to appeal and it was unsuccessful. Team YouTube, can you please take another look at my video? There's hundreds of others just like it up on the platform, and all material used is still live on YouTube. And of course, they sent the automated reply, you know, oh, we'll take a look, don't worry, man. But is the video still up? I mean, I can click on it. It's not.
Yeah, and so it's not only not up, but also they did actually give a reply specifying, yeah, actually this won't be reinstated because it apparently breaks our policy on harassment, which is just completely untrue, because everything in that video just references the other video, like the Gina video that we've even talked about, or they just generally talk about the case as a whole.
Yeah.
And they still double down. There's not much more we can do. Your removal was an appeal was very carefully reviewed and the decision is final. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And you're just completely wrong. I mean, that's just a lie.
I love when they say, like, in the automated system, there's like, well, there's nothing we can do. You could put the video back up.
Yeah,
there actually is a lot you can do.
There's plenty you can do. You have the full power. You are literally the person who runs the site. Yes, there's actually a fuck ton you can do about this. You're just refusing because I do believe that they are protecting him based on the repeated amount of just constant doubling down they're doing on it, based on the emails and stuff. I mean, we have more tweets here. This is just one creator.
Here's another creator, Briz, a YouTube channel, 200K subs. I panicked after receiving a strike on my EDP video, so I stupidly deleted it before appealing. Working on recovering the video with YouTube support, but I need help on lifting the strike once it is recovered because I got striked for showing a clip of Gideon.
Yeah, which is just an absolutely ridiculous reason to be striked. I mean, the video is already up there on the website. It's totally ridiculous. I mean, he goes on to say more, but at this point, it's ridiculous. I will say one thing, though. I mean, deleting the video after you get striked, he does say it was stupid to do, which, I mean, yeah, fair enough, but you shouldn't do that. If you get striked, leave the video up so that way they can get appealed, because otherwise it just makes it a whole, like, fucking pain in the ass to deal with, and YouTube sucks. So.
Yeah. And even Gideon himself got struck. We were talking about this, his original stream. You can still watch on Rumble, but he got banned. Sensitive Society, another commentary YouTuber, got banned once again. They actually gave him a timestamp here, and the timestamp is just nothing. They say he broke the rules for harassment and cyberbullying of a pedophile, EDP, somehow, right? Submits the appeal, denied instantly. Why?
Yeah, and this one, it's not even really harassment and cyberbullying because EDP actually groomed a 15-year-old fucking child. It wasn't even like a sting operation or setup. There was no fake victim or anything like that. There was an actual 15-year-old child that was sent videos by this fat idiot talking about how he's going to kill her if she ever comes out. And so then they confront the guy and say, why are you telling children that you're going to kill them if they confront you on your pedophilic tendencies? And then that is apparently harassment if you just confront someone for saying that to a 15-year-old. That is harassment nowadays, according to YouTube standard. And not just the automated system either. I mean, it actually was even officially confirmed by a email sent to another person. They're confirming that if you point out that it's a recognizable figure, that all of a sudden, you know, it's actually egregious and it's against the TOS. So this is the YouTube partner support. They sent an email here to a YouTuber. It says, thanks for your patience while our team looked into this. After further review of the content, our team has confirmed that the strike on the video will be upheld in line with our harassment and cyberbullying policy. Specifically, the video includes content that depicts a staged meetup that is used to accuse an identifiable individual of egregious misconduct with a minor without the presence of law enforcement. That's just disgusting. I mean, how fucking disgusting is this? This guy literally groomed a 15-year-old openly. She came out about it, and all of a sudden now, if you're saying that, if you just point that out, that's harassment and cyberbullying. If you just talk about the situation, you're harassing and cyberbullying her.
Yeah, here's the thing about this email that's very fucking strange, right? If YouTube is sitting their foot down and saying, hey, you know, vigilante, pedophile hunting groups, private groups that are just running like predator poachers, for instance, right? If they want to ban that type of content, there is an argument to be made in favor of that type of stuff, because those sting operation videos are literally just made for like views and clickbait and attention, and they don't actually result in real police investigations that stop the pedophile. If anything, it sets the pedophiles free, right? Because if EDP gets set up as some sort of decoy, the cops can't really do anything with that, even if you take that information to them. That's why EDP's been roaming free for like years anyway, right? So if YouTube was just saying, hey, we don't want YouTubers trying to stop pedophiles anymore, that should be left up for law enforcement and professionals only, then I could understand where they're coming from with that, because ultimately that would lead to, you know, less pedophiles walking free and less people just using their horrific crimes for attention and money, right? I'm not saying Gideon's doing that, right? But I'm just saying, like, if that was where their mindset was at, okay, sure. But let's be honest, guys, YouTube, Google, they're not interested in the morality of stopping fucking pedophiles. They're just removing content, exposing the pedophiles, I guess presumably because it makes the site look bad, as if defending them also doesn't. It's very strange what they're doing here. But then also on top of that, to ban commentary channels for just simply talking about the sting operation, right? Okay, sure, YouTube, you don't want people running their own little sting operations to stop pedophiles. It's a bit strange, but okay. But now you're gonna ban commentary, talk about stuff that's already happened. Why?
Yeah.
Why does that need to go? That doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. I can't figure it out.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. And I will say this, you know, a lot of people do criticize like these channels like Predator Poachers, etc., for what they do and like how they're not actually super successful at it. And I will say, you know, law enforcement, there's a lot of sometimes legal like, you know, terms around like law enforcement and trapping people into those situations. So it is sometimes difficult for law enforcement themselves to actually like actively catch a pedophile and use a decoy. And they usually don't use their resources personally on that. So one thing that's actually great about these channels, and especially great about Predator Poachers, even though EDP didn't get arrested, is that his entire life was ruined, and rightfully so. I mean, he got banned from every job. He got fucked. I mean, he was being, this is what he deserved for, you know, talking to a child and trying to fuck a underage child. So at the same time, like, obviously, you know, it's like, he didn't get arrested. He should be in prison because then he actually started grooming real kids. But EDP's been grooming kids since before Predator Poachers. He's been doing it. He's going to keep doing it after Predator Poachers. So in one single way, it is good that they completely ruined his life, because that's what he deserves for talking to kids the way that he does and threatening to kill them, and, you know, also all this insane, crazy shit that he does. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it'd be nice if he would get thrown in jail and thrown in prison like he deserves. But I'm not super. I'm completely against the idea of banning.
I am as well. I can just sort of like, I can entertain an argument for why that type of content isn't ultimately helpful, because yeah, you're saying EDP's life was ruined, and, you know, reputationally he was destroyed. He lost his ability to really make a living for himself, right? But he's still grooming kids, and the reason why he's still grooming kids is because he's not in jail. So, you know, is this content helpful in a sense? Sure, right? But I would rather this guy just be locked away and have the key thrown away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that there are people who are malicious about it and want to just purely do it for views, and they don't even give a fuck about law enforcement at all, which is fine. I mean, that's fine to criticize that, because, you know, it's like, that is kind of shitty. But like I said, at the end of the day, if you are a pedophile and you're grooming children, and even if your name is just plastered onto the internet for everyone to see how like disgusting and degenerate you are, that is already a step better than, you know, if you're still secretly doing this in private, because now, you know, you don't deserve to have like the same kind of life that all of us who are not actually grooming children have.
But yeah, guys, YouTube is banning a bunch of commentary channels, giving them strikes. As you guys know, like when you get a strike on YouTube, you can't post for a week, right? So Tom's had to go to Twitter, Tom being one of the people that got struck, Gideon, Sense of Society, all of these people, Jamari Speaks, you know, they're all offline for a week. They can't even alert and tell their audiences what happened, right? They just have to not post for a week. Their audience is wondering, you know, they're all in the dark. They're like, where is my content at? And then a week later, they got to come back and say, oh, sorry, YouTube shut me off for a week because I went after and harassed EDP. Really, YouTube? Like, how many times are you guys going to get caught defending pedophiles before you guys realize maybe this isn't the best look for the fucking company, for the website, you know? I don't know, just me, you know, I'm not running YouTube or anything like that, you know, I'm not in the decision-making chair, but holy shit, guys, I mean, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, well, another thing too is that Gideon apparently actually did have law enforcement present and actively coming onto the scene while it happened. I've heard from a couple people, they said they called the police like before they even came out of the car, so the police were actively coming onto the scene. And there's people who do, like there's other YouTubers I watch who have like 500 arrests, you know, like they have 1,000 catches, 500 arrests, because every time they go up to a pedophile that they recently caught in the operation, they will talk to them. They say, if you try to run away, we'll call the police, let's talk. But then really they're calling the police anyway behind the scenes or whatever. And they start talking about shit so that way they can kind of like, you know, get it out of them, get all the confessions out of them. And then when the police show up, then they can show the police the video and all the confessions and then get arrested, because it's not actually entrapment. The police wasn't directly involved in that investigation. They just showed up and saw the evidence. So if that's the case, I mean, Gideon actually did what you're legally supposed to do. He called the police. He did everything you're morally supposed to do, but also at the same time, I mean, he is making content out of it, but so what at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, trying to get someone who's a pedophile thrown in prison, you're not even breaking, like the idea what they were saying, like without the email, how it said law enforcement wasn't present, he's not even breaking that. So, I mean, this is just totally ridiculous. I mean, this is straight up just covering for a pedophile.